And sometimes you just need like a little unexpected motivation when you first get started to see the potential, I guess. So we're like, oh wow, that did better than we expected, and we're really well received. And so we just grew it a little bit by bit each year. We only ever invested, I guess, the money that we made. So it never felt like there was a big, heavy risk that we had to overextend ourselves. Yeah, it's when people sign up at the beginning of the year and they pay at the beginning of the year. And then when the season starts, we provide produce for each week of the season. And we have different versions of that. We have a produce one that runs during the main season. We also have a winter veggie one. We have a meat one, which is kind of like a 1 month. We put together a bundle for people. The CSA is wonderful because the customers are signing up and paying during the off season, which is when a lot of our expenses are. But aside from that, like the CSA members, when they sign up, they're kind of committing to come every week. So they get a little more vested and engaged in the farm, and it's a bit of a deeper connection to make a lasting relationship. Our second year, we started with some broilers. We got a small number of broilers, and we started adding in other animals as we went. We added in laying ducks, and then we added in Thanksgiving turkeys and meat ducks and laying hens, and then we've also done pork the past 5 years too.
So the way our animals kind of integrate to our intensive area is we have like a permanent house with like day range, like a wagon wheel. We're adding deep bedding, which we'll call several feet. And then twice a year, we'll be scooping that wood chip manure mix out and then cutting that with old leaves to make a rough compost. And that gets applied in the tunnel.
You know, we definitely are getting a keener eye for soil erosion and really trying to keep the soil covered as much as we can. We do that with a lot of mulches and cover crops or leaving crop residue in place until we really have to turn it over. Some of the animals, like the pigs, we can run them through areas that are fully covered, you know, so we have some forest areas or some other scrub areas that, you know, we don't have to disturb the soil at all.
Everyone's got their own version of no-till, whether it's a chemical application, an herbicide, right? Is it surface tillage? What do? We broad fork, we add compost, rough compost, it's not sifted, just real chunky compost, and then we direct seed into it. So our biggest issue is that capillary action to get the moisture up. So we might have to water a little bit heavier for the direct seeded crops. But we're typically not really weeding, which is great. So it's like a surface tillage with like a rake or a wheel hoe. The tunnels allow us to grow greens all winter. About a third of our tunnels are heated with propane, and the rest are just unheated. They also allow us to get a big jump start on summer stuff. And I think one of the biggest benefits is we don't have to push the outdoor product too early in the spring. Is there a difference between a greenhouse and a high tunnel? The way I define it is a greenhouse is heated and a high tunnel is unheated. It
probably comes down to being willing to learn from your mistakes, being open to growth and to failing, and still wanting to keep going. You don't have had to have had agricultural experience to get into agriculture, and maybe by not having somebody's beliefs before you presenting themselves, you are more open to see what is possible. We probably wouldn't have gone in the direction that we've gone if we had grown up on farms. The public might be getting more keyed into how different this food is compared to the food at the grocery store. I think the farmers, the business owners kind of need to offer and present and engage and grow with where the customers are at and grow together, I guess, to be a lasting relationship.